If you not got a routine, you're just aimlessly doing nothing. Never speak badly about yourself, because the inner you can hear that. I think there's like a lot of issues in the UK with faith. Like, if somebody's like a Christian or somebody's a Jew or Hindu or whatever, and they're practicing their religion, they're being faithful, I say to them, God bless you, man. You need to be masculine if you're a man. So I think that faith has kind of been took out of maybe Western culture. Or go and self-study and go and seek knowledge. Don't just sit and watch fucking clips from YouTube or clips from Instagram and think that you're going to be educating yourself. You need to go deeper.
Is there any final words you would like to share with somebody who's been watching this podcast and took a lot of benefit from what you're saying?
Founder of the charity Fortify Future and professional fighter Brian Hyslop. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, guys. Thank God. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Thank you for coming onto the podcast. First of all, been deep diving your content this week, man. I like the message that you've got. I think, mate, the first thing we need to start on is Make Men Fight Again. What is that all about, bro?
I love that slogan, man. I love that.
Make men fight again. I think the modern man's became a little bit soft. I think we can see that. That's my opinion. So I think men need to start fighting again. And it's no let's go and fight in the street, which many people think that first when they see my content. It's fighting against lack of discipline, lack of self-belief, lack of self-worth, addiction, your vices, fighting against the things that are internal, the internal demons that are kind of destroying the modern man. That's what I'm aiming to help with.
Mm-hmm. And do you think actual physical fighting, like training to fight, is a good way to actually get in about fighting the demons as well?
Fantastic way. It's not the only way, but it's a fantastic way. This could be a 10-hour talk the way I get into this, but I'll try and say it's short and sweet. So fighting or martial arts, it's an individualised sport. It's an individualised thing that you participate in, and it's only yourself to be accountable for. So if you're getting into a contest, you're fighting your demons to go through that process. All the 12 weeks of training, all the discipline that you have to go through, all the not going to night outs with your mates, that's you're fighting against all that. To get in, walk in that ring and have a fight with some other guy who's done that, well, that's a great way to fight something, isn't it? And then you actually get a physical fight at the end of it. Mm-hmm. I say, like, I coach kids in my charity, so there's small individual fights you get in training every day. So if you're doing like sparring or you're doing wrestling or whatever, you're having little small contests throughout that session, and that's you fighting your ego every single time. So when you're a martial artist or you're a fighter, you're actually really in control of your ego. Do you understand? You fight it every single day. And I think that's a problem a lot of men don't have. Their ego gets control of them, and the ego beats them in the fight.
Mate, I told you about I've done a wee bit of jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. I've got a strong football background, so always been involved with football. The difference between the changing rooms, mate, see when you're talking about ego, there isn't ego in martial arts changing rooms, mate. Everybody's just level. You can have the best guy there, the worst guy there. Everybody's just on a level playing field, but it's different in football. There seems to be more ego, seems to be more bravado, more like I'm the man. But you don't get that in those types of scenarios, mate. Everybody's just level and on the same field, because you could get knocked out, you could get choked out, you could get, and you probably have been at some point, you know what I mean? So
your ego is tested every day in the gym. Jiu-jitsu is great for it, because you get in and you're a white belt, you're a total beginner, and you're in with somebody with more experience. They're going to wipe the floor with you.
Mate, it's the most humbling thing in the world.
Ever.
Honestly, mate, it's the most humbling thing in the world, because you go, I got choked out off a lassie in my first session, mate.
I get beat off a lassie in my first fight when I was 4 at karate. That takes your ego away, doesn't it?
So I've actually got two mates who are right into fighting. One's more boxing, one's more MMA, and two of them kind of went into fighting for slightly different reasons. One was a bit more angry, and fighting kind of humbled him in that sort of way, and then the other one was more scared, if you will, right? Wanted to learn to protect himself, and it's kind of gave him that confidence. But they're kind of now on a level playing field. If you get me, they've came to the same sort of level, which I think's pretty cool for it. But I find a lot of people do usually go into fighting sports for these reasons, and it's usually dealing with like issues they're going with, aggression, etc., and then also potentially getting bullied, stuff like that. Is that something you see commonly with people getting into fighting as well?
There's two things. A man's got anger issues, he has to fight that. A man's got fear issues, he has to fight that. Make men fight again. And fighting is a great medium for that, because they're learning all these, mental practices through the practice of martial arts and fighting. It's such a great way of doing it. Because I'm a fighter, I've been a fighter since I was 4 years old. My dad, my granddad, professional fighters. My son, 4 years old, he's a fighter. I'm used to that. So maybe when I speak like that, I'm aware that not everybody understands that. But it is a great way of doing it. Now, I've got this thing like Scotland, right? Martial race, we're known for being tough guys. in history. Do you know what I mean? We've went through the battles, and that's what we're known for. But nowadays, not a lot of people are fighting. Do you know what I mean? Or getting into a ring or getting into a gym and stuff like that. So we're kind of lost that martial ability of our race or whatever. So I think every man should go and have a fight. Every man,
Mate,
one fight.
There's a lot of people that I know that have always been speaking about, I want to go into this MMA gym, I want to do that, but never do it. They never end up doing it. Do you know what I mean? But it's such a, for a guy that's never fought before. You've came through it, you've done it your whole days, man. But for somebody that's maybe 18, 19, that's never fought before, it is a daunting thing to do.
Extremely. But that's the ego, because you're worried.
Aye.
You're worried. Oh man, my fucking bird will see me getting beat. My pals, what are they going to do? They've got to slag me, and that's the ego taking control. So you need to fight the ego, mate. The ego. I'm not really a fan of the ego, because I think when you focus too much on the ego, you focus on yourself. And I'm more about the greater good. I'm a believer of God, right? I believe the greater good of God is what we should all aim for. And that's against the ego. I've got this saying, EGO, edging God out. When you focus on yourself, it's just yourself, and that's no good. That's no good for the world. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you can fight that ego in such a silly thing like martial arts or fighting or boxing, will you become part of that greater good? I think that's a poor higher perspective on it, you know?
I think another cool point with that as well is it is an art as well. Like, a lot of people think about fighting as this kind of brutal thing. I remember the first time I seen like a UFC fight, I was like, oh my God, this is like pure brutal. But then the more you start to learn about like your jiu-jitsu, your different types of fighting, man, you see it as like, it's a chess game they're moving through, innit? Know what I mean? It's awesome the way it kind of is. Like, is there any kind of, I don't know, figures that you took a lot of inspiration for growing up with, like in the martial art realms?
Out of fighters? Oh man, all my kind of heroes that I look up to has all mostly been fighters or have done fighting. I'm not going to say Vladimir Putin's one of my heroes, but it's just on top of my mind now. He's a world leader, and he's heavily involved in judo and grappling. And in Russia, I'm really a big fan of like the way that the Soviet countries and Russia and stuff like that use martial arts at a young age to become better, stronger men. So all these Russian men, like they do wrestling, like my son, like 4 or 3 years old, right? Started that. And then if they don't compete professionally or they don't fall right through into like go to the Olympics or whatever, they do usually become great businessmen or great leaders or great politicians or whatever. Whereas in the UK, what kind of leaders are we getting followed by here? Do you know what I mean? Soft men, I think.
Aye, it is. It's a soft nation, man. There's a total lack of discipline as well with everything going through it, man. And I think as well, it's very ego driven here. I've definitely noticed that.
Aye, they're not in control of it. They're not in control of it. But I mean, like, probably ego does help some people achieve success and that. Obviously, I can't say it doesn't, because it does. But it can also control you too much, that it's only about that success that's on you. Because like, if you think that you've had your success through your own doing, your own ego, well, you're not giving gratitude to what's really been given. It's been given through, I call it God, maybe some people call it the universe. It's a greater good. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not proud in my achievements. I don't say I'm proud that I'm on this podcast with these guys. No, I thank God for my achievements. I thank the universe, whatever you want to say. Thank the universe that I'm able to come and speak to you two guys on your podcast, on your platform. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's a greater good to me.
Amazing, mate. Amazing message. I'd love to take it back to the start, mate. Like, where did you grow up? Like, where are you from?
I'm from I'm a kind of gypsy, travelling a wee bit though, but born in the south side of Glasgow, and then my dad moved to Studdingston. I always went about the East End. Kind of more about the East End, growing up, going about and stuff like that. My mum stayed in Denison. And then I moved to Spain about 7 times, moved and came back. Then I lived in Portugal. I lived in Dubai for a bit. And then...
Is this at a young age? Don't know.
I was living in Spain when I was young, like 9 or 10. My dad moved us out there a few times. And then when I got older and I had my family, I moved them to Spain and Portugal. So Portugal for me, it's kind of home. In a sense, my son was born there, my kiddos went to school there, and I kind of feel at home there a little bit. But obviously I got into trouble in Spain, and my family had to leave back and come back to Scotland. Right,
okay, man, okay. So you said you kind of went about the East End. Whereabouts in East End were you going about then mainly?
I went to a boxing gym, the Denison Amateur Boxing Club. My mum was from Denison, and all my mates from that area, funny enough, right, I'm 39 years old, all my best mates are all guys that I went to that boxing gym with, and they were from like Baillieston and stuff like that, and I kind of grew up around about there.
Mm-hmm. Same. So you mentioned, so was boxing kind of your first kind of martial art you actually went and got into then?
My first martial art was karate, and then Jeet Kune Do, and then boxing, because my dad was a boxer, my granddad was a boxer, so my dad never really wanted me to box maybe, or didn't really enforce it as much or encourage it as much. But I ended up doing it at 14. Had a good amateur career, met all my friends.
Many fights do you have?
In boxing, I've had like 55 fights in total. Boxing, maybe about 30 odd. MMA, amateur, professional, 15, 20 or something. Bare knuckle, Muay Thai, lot of wrestling, lot of grappling. I've had a good wee run at it.
How many MMA fights have you done?
I think I had 8 amateur and 11 pro. So 19.
Wow.
Aye.
19.
And so see, obviously kind of having that kind of fighting background then, right? See, kind of growing up, were you kind of involved in like a lot of fights? Like just maybe like when you're a wee guy, stuff like that. Like, do you remember you, just outside that, you know what I mean? Like, were you always getting into trouble with that? Was people giving you issues, any stuff like that at all?
I'm 5'4", so I had to like toughen up in school and stuff like that, because you don't have a wee guy that's going to get beaten about. So I've got that, I don't know, I used to have that wee man syndrome, maybe you call it. I don't know, that's a terrible word, but I used to have that never back down mentality, and that's taught about in school. And then when I left school, I get involved in a lot of fights outside. Used to go to the nightclubs in Glasgow, Archaeos and the Tunnel, and I used to be fighting all the time. And I think that's just part of growing up in Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? You guys have been involved in it as well. Everybody's been involved in it at some point. Maybe it's a rite of passage for a lot of men in this city. It's not a good thing, but then again, you do learn as well to know do it.
I think most people in Glasgow have obviously grown up with kind of like the gang fighting culture and that as well, so it was something that was so prevalent. I think as like wee guys, it was just kind of like fighting out of boredom in it really, but then I've noticed, like I seen something recently about basically boys fighting at an older age, and it's all about like drugs and money and all that now, and like I'm just like, what are you doing different when you're going and having an actual martial art and you're doing it professionally and it's going that, but like see just going and like beating up people, mate, you know what I mean, and just jumping them and all that, that's just, I think it's just a terrible way to be, man.
Most unnecessary thing in the world. I think fighting outside is the daftest thing in the world. Mate, the daftest thing in the world.
Mate, I'm sorry to interrupt you now, mate. A boxer that went to, he actually never had a full professional career because he basically messed up fighting outside, and he always says, right, this guy can really handle himself, and he's had a few fights out in the street and stuff like that, and he's always like, that's the worst thing today, get away with it as soon as you can, because he had this kind of promising career as he was growing up, and then ended up getting punched, and I think he got damaged to his eye, and he wasn't able to then go and fight because he couldn't see properly, and he's always been a big advocate of just trying to walk away from fights, but it's hard, isn't it? See, when you're in that situation, the ego comes in, and
but then again, like me, like fun at 39 years old, or if somebody challenged me, I'd just laugh at them, man, like, come on, mate, what are you doing? I'd just walk away. I think that's the real fighter that can do that, you know what I mean? When I was younger, I didn't really think like that, but see now, fucking away you go. And then I think the people that are starting these fights are the people that haven't fought before. Do you know what I mean? In a contest or something like that, because their egos, they want to challenge somebody to see, oh, I'm the man, I want to try and test myself there. But then you might come against a jiu-jitsu black belt or a Muay Thai practitioner or somebody that's going to get knocked out.
Right.
So
it's crazy, like, see when somebody does know how to fight, like the difference for somebody who's just a brawler, just swinging, is just ridiculous, isn't it? They've got no chance whatsoever,
you could
man.
fight them 10 times out of 10 and you would get beat 10 times out of 10.
Aye, but then you said about the football changing room and the jiu-jitsu changing room. The jiu-jitsu changing room, they've no egos, right? Because they test them every day. So they're the kind of guys, they're the dangerous guys, but they're humble enough, like, fuck up, man, I don't want to argue. But then you've got these other guys that have never done it before, and they're like, oh, I'm going to try and test myself here and show I'm the man. I think I think men need to get that out of their system, especially Glasgow. But get into a gym and like give yourself a year in a gym learning how to box. You'll not be wanting to fight outside because you're doing it every day. You're challenging yourself every single day in the gym. You know what I mean?
Right.
When did the coaching start, mate? So like, when did you start coaching? Obviously, we've kind of covered your background.
Can I just interrupt just before we go into that? You've not asked your favourite question, mate.
Oh, mate, I don't even know if you like football, mate. Are you a football fan?
Hate football.
You hate football? okay.
With a passion. Sorry, mate, but I cannot stand football. I cannot stand it. I'm sorry.
Just killed us here, mate, because all my viral clips are always asking what team do you support, Rangers or Celtic, that I mean.
So, I mean, growing up, you need to pick a team, didn't you, Brian?
He's alright, he's just vibing.
Growing up, you need to pick a team, right? So, obviously, I was a Catholic school, Catholic and stuff like that, and picked Celtic. Been to a few Old Firm games and that, but I'm sitting on my phone in an Old Firm game. I'm stealing a ticket off a real fan. Do you know what I mean? But I like the athleticism and the sport of football. I think Glasgow has killed football for me. Do you get what I mean? Because it's tight. But then again, if you're a football fan, it's such a great thing in this Old Firm, and it's like the passion.
Aye.
I was coaching Nico Raskin and Mikey Moore the other day.
I was going to ask you about that, mate.
Aye. I didn't really know who they were, but I was kind of talking to them about football and stuff like that. And I do appreciate, athletes in general. Do you know what I mean? It's really fantastic to me. But the amount of hate I got after that post was mental. Half Rangers fans and Celtic fans.
It's ridiculous, isn't it, man? What were they like in person, mate? I don't know why, but I just love. Well, I know why.
What were they like? Just 24-year-old, 19-year-old guy that walks in the gym, no different from anybody else.
Aye, fair.
Do you know what I mean? Really nice boys.
I love Raskin.
Yeah, you're a Rangers fan.
I'm a Rangers fan, mate.
But I don't support the team, mate. What you just said there, mate, is exactly what I think Glasgow has ruined it for me. When I grew up, I was maybe Rangers when I was younger and that, but now, mate, I play football as I said to you, man.
Right, so
but literally love the game. Do not have one side. Anybody that I watch a game in a different way for people, mate. People are just, they don't have a clue about the game, but they're so focused on the bigotry and the madness. You're not actually watching the game, mate. You don't see what's happening in this game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I like that. I really like that. So
there's so much more. It's very technical, mate. It's very technical. There's so much things happening and nobody sees it. They're just like quite happy to shout abuse at the other side. I'm not even watching the game. For me, it doesn't make sense, mate. That's why I decided just to go neutral, mate. I'll enjoy the game, but I'm not getting involved with it.
I like that. I like that because you play the game.
I play
and
semi-pro.
You don't watch the game.
I play semi-pro. Aye.
So it's like I don't really watch fights as a fan. Do you know what I mean? I like to watch the techniques and stuff like that. It's like porn. I don't like to watch porn. I like to participate in the action of porn.
Of course, mate.
It's not that different, is it? You're either a doer or a watcher.
Okay.
I like that about you, mate. That's really noble.
I made that decision young, man. Like I just kind of drifted away as I started playing professional and semi-pro and stuff. I was just like, this is madness. These boys are just normal boys. Half the players that you're rooting for are going to be in a different club in the next year or 2 years max. You know what I mean? It's not what you think it is. These boys aren't thinking the way you're thinking. The violence and the
let them believe it, mate. Let them believe that they're all part of the team. Let me on they go. It's something they need to do.
The part for me, but is like how much these people sacrifice their life just to go watch these games. I mean, and I get it. It's like a big part of the culture here and that, but like they'll put so much sacrifice into going and watching somebody else like performing to their best, becoming a better version of themselves, playing in these sports, and they'll just not do anything like that for themselves at all, man. You know what I mean? They're a watcher. As you say, mate. Aye. It's like they live through the glory of other people. Do you know what I mean?
Well, see that I want to touch on that, mate. So I don't really like that. See like people that attribute their achievements to the achievements of others, and it's not just football. It's like what nation you're from, what colour of skin you are, what you believe in, and they think that's their character and that's their achievements and stuff like that. Somebody said to me, like, cause I'm really against drink and drugs, and I speak about it a lot. And a guy commented on my post, "We took over the world by being drinkers." Talking about Britain took over the world by being drinkers, and I says, "Mate, you took over fuck all. When did you take over it? You fucking born fucking 30 years ago. You took over nothing, mate." Do you know what I mean? Why are you attributing your talents or your successes to fucking what the British Empire done 300 years ago? A guy messaged me with that Rangers post, in fact, funny enough. So I don't like football, so I say I don't like football because I'm very opinionated and I say what I want when I want, right? And this guy's messaged on the photo or on the Sun record, the paper it was on. He's full of shite. I'm full of shite. He doesn't even like football, right? I might not like football, but it doesn't mean I can't coach 2 football players. So why am I full of shite? That's just, that made my head go up, mate. This fucking city's full of cavemen, man.
Mate, see the minute you start listening to the comments, but man, like these people are just like daft, mate. Like I see some of the comments I read, man. I'm just like, what are you reading?
You must be getting a lot of them as well, because a lot of your posts are really good. But you must be getting a lot of people in the comments writing shite and
mate, every day.
Aye.
A wee Scottish guy that's fucking practices Islam and fights and fucking says don't drink and all that. I get some amount of hate on it, mate. It's funny. A Celtic fan wrote, funny enough, there's Nico Raskin and Mikey Moore training with a bodyguard for Mothercare because I'm 5 dead short. And somebody wrote, I didn't know Nico Raskin was 7 feet tall because I'm not all fighting. Good pal, man.
It's good pal. You got to laugh at some of them.
Aye, some of the comments are belters, mate. Some of them are belters, right? And like they ones I appreciate, right? But like sometimes I'm just reading the stuff they're saying. I'm like, you just don't even got any sense. Like, what even makes you write that stuff? What I'm saying?
Do you guys get hate when you do posts and stuff like that, transformation?
I only post fitness content. Really, I'll sometimes say some opinionated stuff, but realistically, I'm just telling guys how to get in shape, mate. And like, it's just You get hate for no reason.
We get quite a lot on the podcast clips and stuff like that. Some of them do pretty well. So like, just people just, mate, anything that you say, mate, it doesn't matter what you say.
I know
It doesn't matter what you're putting it. Somebody's gonna click on it, especially if your post does well, mate. There's always going to be people commenting on it.
Okay, so
don't tend to read them, mate, to be honest.
The Pareto principle, 80%, 20%. You've got 20% that are alright, 80% are fucking idiots. So, but you guys are doing something good. Same as me, transformation, helping men and stuff like that. If you guys ever went onto a social media post and wrote something negative or something stupid yourself, I've never done it. I don't go and look at a post and go, wait, wee funny comment. Oh, that's my joke done for the day. It's fucking pointless.
I don't have a minute, mate. I'm not watching. I'm not scrolling, and even if I did, mate, I'd like it and move on.
Or just not watch it.
Just as simple as that. I would never think I'm going to write a wee shady comment here and just see if I can get a bite.
That's my done. I'm done for the day there.
See, just kind of speaking with that then, right? I think it's a good time to kind of go into the Fortified Man. What made you become a Fortified Man yourself?
Especially being in your late 30s with 3 children and a missus outside, it's very, very difficult, man. Very, very difficult. I've always been a disciplined guy. I've been a professional fighter. I've been a business owner and stuff like that. I just had 2-3 years in the wilderness. I lost a lot of money and just it affected me really bad and I crashed down. But you ever heard of the hero's journey?
Mate, yes.
Mate, we're taking you through it right now.
Exactly, bro. This is
exactly.
But see as well, mate, you did mention something in one of your videos about the Fortified Man needs to go through the shit, basically,
course,
man.
Mate, of course. So the hero's journey, every film, every book, every protagonist has always went through the hero's journey because that's the story that men need to go through, and that applies to every single man. Everybody in this room is going to go through that at one point in their life. So you come out, you go in life, you do good, life affects you, you do bad, and then you're returning to that as your fortification, in my opinion. That's you come through the hero's journey. So I thought about all the shit that I'd done wrong. I played all the plays that I'd done incorrectly. I had to go back to that discipline, Brian. Right, drugs and alcohol played a good part of that, right? I would even say that I was addicted to alcohol and drugs at one point. I'm not proud of that, but I need to say it, it's the truth. And I'm into reading, so I read a lot of books, right?
What's your favourite book?
The Quran.
Ah, well, okay, fair enough.
By far, aye.
Makes sense.
Aye. It's a great book and I'll touch on that in a wee second. So I read all these books and I had to create my own routine. Need a routine, man. If you not got a routine, you're just aimlessly doing nothing. And I'm up at before the sun rises. I'm up, and I was doing my push-ups. I was doing this. I was writing in my journal. I was through the day doing my certain training sections. I was talking to certain people about certain things. Maybe a wee form of coaching as well. Because you asked me when did I start doing coaching. I was doing coaching in Marbella before that. I was doing like fight coaching, and I'm part of an organisation called the War Room, Andrew Tate's organisation. They were teaching me how to do marketing and how to do coaching. Now in there, I had to fortify myself by doing this routine and all these things. And that made me into the man that I can look into the mirror. I'm not lying to myself. I'm not a proud man, but I'm pleased with what I'm doing. I'm happy with myself. I thank God that I'm in this position right now, okay? And then when I came out, that whole thing that I was doing for myself, I started to help men with it. I had like I set up an online group and I had like 500, 600 people in it, 570 people in it, in this group, and it was all free. And it was Fortified Man, like, let's go into this. And I don't know, man, I think maybe I helped a lot of people with it. And I had like groups that I was doing, going to cold water dips on a Sunday, going hill walks on a Sunday, just all these wee things that I'm doing. And then people were coming to me for fight coaching. So you've got an hour, I'll teach you how to fight. But because of my content and the stuff that I was talking about and my story and the discipline, they were spending 55 minutes just speaking to me. They only like to learn how to fight. And I was like, okay, what am I actually teaching here? Am I teaching how to be a boxer? Or am I teaching fortification? So I kind of created a program round about all that, all the stuff that I was talking to all these clients about. And now I do it online. I think it's a fantastic thing. It's quite, I've created my own niche, right? So it's quite hard to even market. Even myself, I struggle with it properly, right? But it's all about being faithful, being principled, being confident, courageous in the face of adversity and challenges, right? In that program, I also do teach a training routine. I also do teach a nutrition, how to have a nutrition plan, how to eat healthily and stuff like that. But the more meat on the bones is how to be a disciplined, fortified, resilient man. That's what the programme is.
You touched on you do like gym stuff and all that with them as well as training, or is it mostly sort of boxing and MMA style stuff for the training?
Nah. So that's what I'm saying. If I just become like a PT coach, which I was for a while, we're kind of, it's like they come in for that, but they don't get that and they don't want that. They want something else. So they want the Fortified Man. So really I need to say to them, look guys, I'm not a PT, I'm a coach. If you want to do my programme, this is my programme. And I think online is a lot better, right? Because if you're in with me once a week and you want to speak to me for 55 minutes and then you go and spend the next rest of that week just doing what you're doing, you're not really getting that programme. So on my programme, I'm online every single day. I use the app Telegram. We've got a private chat and we're just looking through all the steps. And I say to them, look, don't be scared to ask me questions. Don't be scared to don't be scared to go deep with me, because I'm quite a deep person. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more transparent my clients are with me, the better I can give them, better results I can give them. Do you get what I'm saying? But I've got my own gym, or whatever gym I'm training at. I say to them, like, for free, like, this is not an additional cost. You can come and train alongside me, because I train every single day. And a lot of the time it's just lifting weights. Like, how's your day, mate? What are you up to? But when I'm coaching, I don't really get to have that conversation with them. Do you get what I'm saying? So I really, really had to kind of dial in. I'm not a PT. It's not about fighting. It's about the fortification.
It's like a self-development for men.
Self-development.
But I think what you're saying there is like part of self-development for men is the foundation probably is getting fit and healthy. Isn't it? I mean, like,
the foundation for being, it's not, it's part of it. It's a big part of it. Being strong and being able to like be fit is part of it, but it's not. That's what I'm saying. The meat and the bones of my programme, which might differ for yours. I don't really know what your programmes are. It's not. It's the mindset. It's the discipline. It's the fortification. It's the being resilient. And so the first thing I do with them is I set up a routine. Right. So the first week is setting up a routine. I call it a bomb-proof routine. Doesn't matter if an atomic bomb goes off. You need to stick to this routine. So say for instance somebody's struggling with alcohol addiction or whatever. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. But I think my system does really work. And if like alcohol's a problem, it's got to be in your routine. No alcohol every day. No alcohol, right? Now they're not going to just boom, no alcohol because I gave them that routine and I leave them to it. No, I need to keep them on top of them. So I need to keep them accountable with my coaching. And I've created a system called mental fortitude training. And every week I give them something that builds resilience, something mental, something physical, and let they get through the fire a little bit every week. These small little challenges. This maybe comes from my martial arts training as well. Do you know what I mean? And that builds resilience in them. And aye, mate, it's a great programme.
So could you give us an example, first of all, of the routine you set up, but then also some of these wee challenges you'll put them through as well?
So the routine is like non-negotiables they have to do every single day.
Like what?
Wake up at a certain time. I like 100 push-ups in the morning for anybody, and that's not your training. That's just to prime yourself for the day. Physical, you're getting energy. You're creating energy for that day, right? By doing 100 push-ups. Some people can do 10, some people can do whatever. 100 push-ups are a good standard. And then another one would be to be disciplined with the way that you express yourself to others. So I'm all about like no telling people about how bad your day is. You need to be aware of the energy that you're transferring to other people. See, you've said maybe Glasgow can be toxic. You messaged me that all day. Understand that. Because we are quite a humble city, and I love that. Even self-deprecating a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But then again, people kind of, like, you ever been in a conversation, somebody comes to you and goes, oh, mate, I'm fucking, my life's, my job's bad, and they're just bringing down that level. So I tell people to be disciplined with that. No, you hold yourself. You keep that to yourself. You need to be disciplined in the way that you react with others. Be disciplined in the way that you spend money. Don't squander your wealth. Don't go and fucking aimlessly waste money gambling. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people gamble money. Biggest waste of money ever. Be disciplined in all your actions. And these are these non-negotiables that I give people. Training session, a daily training session, ice bath, or 90 seconds in a cold shower. Just wee things like that. Fasting's one of them as well. I add in like a weekly fast. Some of them do 48 hours, some of them do 24 hours, some of them fast from water, some of them fast from food. Just things that build resilience. And it's just a set of things that they do, you know what I mean? And the mental fortitude training just builds on that. So I get them to kind of dive deeper into certain things. Like, okay, you've done an ice bath for 90 seconds, let's do it for 5 minutes today. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Aye. So what is the ice bath and the shovels? That's kind of things that's a wee test you put them through. Is there some other ones you want to use examples of as well?
Well, the fasting, the ice bath, the training, the way that you speak to people, that's something that I really dive into as well. The way that you believe in yourself. So if you think badly about yourself, you need to get disciplined on that. So if you speak badly, I think Bruce Lee said, I've quote about it, like, never speak badly about yourself, because the inner you can hear that. Do you know what I mean? So if you walk about and say, fucking, I'm struggling today, right, cool, you might be struggling, but try and rise above that.
Aye. So the subconscious can differ between imagination and reality, can it not?
It can. So you need to be disciplined with that. That's discipline, isn't it?
Aye. You mentioned how you speak to people as well, right? So is it purely about putting out negative thoughts, or is it how they like react when they're speaking to people and stuff like that as well?
Don't react, respond. That's one of them as well. So instant reaction is like a response is a reaction after analysis. So I'd rather that people don't just instantly react on emotion. Try and take your time, think about how you're going to articulate that problem or whatever, the way that you respond to somebody, and that's a lot better than just instantly firing out of your mouth, because a lot of people are guilty of that.
Aye.
I have been guilty of every single thing on this, mate. This all comes from experience. The alcohol, the drugs, the no training, the lack of discipline the way I speak, the lack of discipline the way I speak to myself. I'm not just reading this out of a book and then copying it and pasting it and giving it to somebody. This is all shit that I've done myself.
Aye. Something that I've personally been trying to work on recently is how I'm sometimes reacting to people and speaking to people. I've noticed I can be quite short, and I'm trying to really work on that, you know what I mean? So what would be some bits of advice you would give me on working on that? So
you need to be disciplined on that by analysing your thought at that given moment. Do you know what I mean? So if somebody says something, you have to give them instant reaction. No, wait a minute. You have to be disciplined and say, no, wait a minute. What is my response here? Am I going to say something that's going to be negative? Am I going to say something that's going to impact our relationship with this person? Or can I sit, take a wee breather, and give them a proper response? That's discipline.
Yeah. Something I've personally been trying to do with it is, as soon as I do that, like, apologising, because I think that makes you more accountable for it. Because then if you're constantly apologising, you're starting to be like, right, wait a minute here, you're taking a sort of this.
I think what Brian's trying to say is, well, you don't need to apologise if you just fucking take a minute, mate.
You take the minute first before the apology, because the apologies, I've got a coach, I've got a martial arts coach in Portugal, really top guy. He's Conor McGregor's coach, in fact, really, really top guy.
What's his name?
Colin Byrne.
Okay.
He actually set up a training camp in Portugal when I got to spar with Conor and done a fight camp with him and stuff like that.
Aye.
But I remember saying to him sorry one day, and he's like, don't say sorry, that's negative. And I was like, wow, man,
coach said that.
He said that, don't say sorry, Brian, that's negative. Let's say thank you or whatever. And I like that, because it's like, you're saying that you're aware that you react negatively, and then you've got that wee sorry just to give them, oh, sorry, mate. But then again, maybe try and fight that wee urge to be reactive. Have the analysis, then respond properly. You don't have to apologise. Do you know what I mean?
I like that, mate. I like that. That's something actually I'm going to try and implement on. Meeting McGregor, mate, right? Filming on, because I'm assuming you got to talk to him a wee bit. Aye. So, mate, see Conor McGregor and his kind of, let's just call it legacy era when that come up, mate. See watching him, his mindset, like his belief system. Mate, I just love the guy in that stage, man. That I'm saying. I know he's a wee bit different now with how he's reacting with some stuff, but like, mate, what was it like speaking to him at that point? Because that was relatively early on, wasn't it?
No, it was 2020, like end of 2020.
Aye, that's what I mean. So quite like
the dippy on my
was it a wee bit of dip? Right, okay. So
nice guy, man. I don't know, like, just a Dubliner. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
He kind of barged into me one time in the gym, and I just bust out fucking laughing. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing?
What kind of like ego? Kind of
when you're 14-year-old, you bang into somebody in school.
Aye.
And I just thought, fuck.
He's got a bit of a bully mentality in it at times, man.
That's it. Mate, that is, listen, very super successful guy, man. Do you know what I mean? I ended up talking to him, I ended up having food with him, and that it was cool. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to train with him. Had a spar with fucking Conor McGregor, world champion. I've sparred a few world champions, but that was quite cool. That was my most famous one I've sparred. It was a great experience. But the better experience of it was the guy Colin Byrne. He's like, I'd say mentors. I've had a lot of mentors in my life. He's one of the mentors that I've had. And it's not just martial arts training, that's just the medium of how our relationship is, but it's more the mentorship of the mindset. He's got such a solid mindset. And I'm blessed that I've had the kind of guys in my life, you know.
So what was the reason you were there sparring? Was it for a fight?
I was living in Portugal, and this Conor McGregor's mate's got a gym in Portugal in this wee town, and I was right unfit, mate. I was retired. I was fucking... I wasn't fortified, but I know how to fight. So he's like to me and my brother, do you want to come and do a training camp with Conor McGregor, because it's COVID and they can't travel about Dublin. They're going to come here because everything's a bit more open. I was like, aye, fuck's sake, that sounds quite good. Do you know what I mean? Aye, I'm going to jump at that. And it was good. It was good fun, good experience. But I remember looking at Conor coming in the first day, and I was just thinking, fuck, I'd love to be in that position. I fucked it I'm retired, I'm whatever, I'm doing all these things that I shouldn't be doing in my life. But then, funny enough, now I'm fighting in Conor McGregor's promotion at 39-year-old, which, if you don't really know fighting, me, I'm not a spring chicken. It's a feat in itself to fight competitively at this age. So thank God
Talk us a wee bit about that. Who's your next opponent, mate? So obviously,
I can't say who my next opponent is, maybe, mate.
Okay.
But
it's bare knuckle though, aye?
Bare knuckle boxing, mate, aye. And honestly, mate, it is the greatest sport I've ever been part of.
Really?
Because I'm a boxer originally, and you can actually clinch in it. It's short 2-minute rounds. They're fucking no gloves. And the best thing about it is, right, so I fought a guy last year for my first fight. He actually came up with me the other day and sparred with me, trained with me. I fought a guy in December, a boy that beat me, a young boy, he's really good. He's coming up next week to train with me. The guy that I'm fighting, I text him every day, he's my pal. I'm actually going to do a podcast with him before the fight to like market the fight. Mate, I've never had that in boxing, never had that in MMA, because the mutual respect between these guys, all the fighters that do this, is just like something like, I can't even like describe how important it is, how cool it is, because I don't think a lot of people have got the fucking madness to go and do that sport.
No, I think it's like a purist version of the sport as well. You know what I mean? Like, it can't get any realer than that. There's it's only punching and clinching,
Punching and clinching, mate,
kicking and stuff like that. But it's a very pure form of fighting. That
Very pure form.
What's the difference, obviously, between the wee MMA gloves and obviously bare knuckle? Does it see when you're in there and you're fighting? Does it make any difference, or does it just like
More for cuts, maybe,
Aye.
and you need to be selective with your shots, because obviously you can
bust
hurt
your
your
hands.
horns.
Aye.
I'm lucky. I don't know. I must have got taught how to punch correctly when I was younger, but I've never hurt my hands in 2 fights I've had. Everybody else fucks their hands up. I'm quite good at the way that I've never hurt my hands, but it's amazing. So the guy that I'm fighting next, I can't really say who he is, but he said like 80 odd fights. I went down to spar with him for one of his last fights. If you're into boxing or that, and you follow
Mate,
boxing,
I watch a wee bit of boxing, mainly MMA. But
have you ever seen Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward?
I've no, but I know
One of the most amazing fights you'll ever see in your life, right? This is like the Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward version of bare knuckle boxing, because the two are a wee older, coming to kind of tail end of their careers, a lot of respect there. And these two guys, 20 odd year ago, put on the greatest fights ever. And I think this is going to happen. We're going to put on the greatest fight ever, man, honestly. Because there's so much mutual respect and all. We're texting each other every day. No letting any animosity. Just like, I can't wait for a fight, mate. No, how's training going? How's the family? And then we're going to get in and fucking punch each other's heads in for 10 minutes.
That's crazy,
That's
man.
madness.
That's madness. The wee ring's quite a funny setup, innit? Because it's no ring, is it? It's like
It's
like
a circular,
a circular wee thing, innit?
but it's so in a ring in boxing you can bounce off the ropes.
There's none of that.
But this is solid, like
Aye,
a cage.
aye.
So in my last fight, I kind of fucked my last fight a wee bit because I was like over grappling with this guy, and he's a stud, a really good fighter. And I kind of felt the youth a wee bit as well, because I'm 15 year old on him. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I liked him at that, but I've just said it anyway. But so you can clinch against the ropes, you can hit, and I'm probably better at clinching than most of them because I come from an MMA background. I noticed in my last fight that I was actually probably a better boxer than the guy, and I kind of focused too much on the clinching, and it tired me out, and it didn't tire that cunt out. He was kept coming back, so I'm going to kind of change it up a wee bit.
Aye. What was see kind of like walking into that first bare knuckle fight as well? Was there any kind of difference in the feeling going in, or were you kind of just like, it's just another day?
So I fought in Scotland in Impact BKB, and it's two guys that I've known for years for the East End. They went to boxing and stuff like that when I was younger. And they says to me, do you want to have this bare knuckle fight? And I was doing MMA, do you know what I mean? I was having a wee go at MMA. And I thought, fucking bare knuckle, who's interested in that? And then when I got to the show, I was like, oh fuck, they boys are putting some show here. This is really good. And then when I walked in the ring, I was like, nah, this is my sport. Before the fight, I was like, this is my sport, man. I feel this. And I was luckily, thank God, that I got a really quick knockout against a really good fighter. And it's, as I said, I'm nearly 40. I'm not a young guy, but I've got a few good fights in me left.
So I was going to say, how long do you think you'll kind of carry on the fighting career?
I don't know, bro. I just fucking love it, mate. I just enjoy it, man. Do you know what I mean? I could do it till I'm 50.
You'll train you'll train forever, eh?
I'll train forever. I'll always train. I've got my son, and I've got like fighters, and I've got my charity with all these young kids and that. So I'm always going to train. But then again, it's like football. Like, if you go and play football when you don't get a game at the end of it, you're going to be, fuck, it's not really the same. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. Speak to us about that charity, mate. Right. So what's the kind of thinking with starting that? Fortify future.
I'll have a good wee bit of time on this, because when I was younger, I went to the Denison Amateur Boxing Club and the Phoenix Amateur Boxing Club, and it's 50 pence to go. The coaches weren't making money. Maybe you're just paying for fucking some of the funds or whatever, right? Sometimes you didn't pay the money. They were doing it for the love of the sport. And then I always thought to myself, as I got older in MMA, I was like, I'd love to do that for some people in Scotland. Like, to teach martial arts, to have a business that operates a martial arts thing, you have to earn money. Obviously, you have to earn money. It's a job. It's a full-time job. But it's like £80 to go and have a gym membership for some of these kids. Now, we're from Glasgow. There's some women or fathers or whatever that are on benefits. They probably can't afford that. 80 quid. Say they've got free weigh-ins, can't afford that. 240 quid. Can't afford equipment. Can't afford whatever. And I always thought to myself, right, they kids that are maybe from deprived areas aren't getting access to this martial arts because of the money problem, the money barrier. I would always thought, like, let's try and figure a way how to help people as a charity. But this was years ago. I'd always thought about this. And then last year, I've got a sponsor, AMS. They do a lot of work all globally and stuff like that. But it's a Scottish guy that runs it. It's in England, but it's a Scottish guy that runs it. And he's kind of helps me with my fights, sponsors me because he likes my message and likes the way I talk. And I said online, I was like, I'm going to do sessions in a gym for free for kids to give back charity, because charity in my religion, I'm a Muslim, charity is such a great thing, and I've never really understood charity until I became a Muslim, but it's such a required thing for people, right? This is a way for me to give charity. Then AMS has came on and went, look mate, we can maybe back this for you. We'll have your own gym for these kids, and it's all free. All the kids are free. T-shirts, hoodies, shorts, all the gloves, all the equipment, and it's a full gym. It's not like just a wee hall. It's like wrestling mats, boxing bags, weights, airdyne bikes, skiers and that kind of stuff. So it's their full-time gym, and we've got Monday to Friday. We've got top coaches. My son's part of Glasgow Wrestling Club, fantastic coaches. So they help with it as well on a Monday. I've got a kickboxing coach, fantastic champion kickboxer. I've got a jiu-jitsu coach, fantastic jiu-jitsu practitioner. I've got myself, I've got one of my fighters that help. So it's not like just a wee charity based where kids all run about playing, you're just a dad helping out. No, it's like actual full-time coaches for these kids. It's actual proper set-up system. And the basis is like, there's no money barrier, so they can all train and learn this martial art skill for free. But the things that we've just spoke about there, like the fortification of men, the fortification of society, is like, I think learning martial arts at a young age is going to do that for society, right? So if all these wee kids are finding out how to fight their ego at such a young age, what's that going to develop in the future, fortified future? And I also talk to them, like there's kids at 13, 14, 15, 16 and stuff like that. I'm talking to them about, listen guys, stay after drink. Don't you be going hanging about the streets on Friday nights. Don't you be smoking weed. No, I'm saying these things to them as well, because I'm anti-drink, anti-drugs. And that wee message of fortification is also coming in along with the martial arts. And it's even grew recently as well, because I was speaking to somebody last night, but this is something that's been in my head the last few months. In Eastern Europe, there's these things called sports schools or sport universities, where it's like a system where, like wrestlers or whatever, they go and do wrestling every day, 2-3 times a day, 2-3 hours a day, but they also learn how to, they get educated in this place as well. So I want to add that in. I want to have like an alternative education system. I want to have the training for free, the competitions and stuff like that. And then the kids that are 15, 16, 17 that they're going to leave if they don't become a professional athlete, that I'm going to put them through courses on how to be a PT, how to be a physio, how to be a referee, so they're part of sport. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like from 4 years old, my son's 4 years old, to 17 years old, full life, like school, training, fighting, maybe getting a job at the end of it.
I think that's something we really miss out on in the UK. Like something I think America does really well is they really prioritise athleticism. People were getting scholarships to school and that just to be purely an athlete. And I think, see, like maybe a lot of the boys who are more troubled in Glasgow, you usually find a lot of them probably back in the day were a right football player, they were a fast runner, they were whatever, but they had no kind of avenue to go down. Like Scotland's very academic, well schools, but they don't really back their athletes a lot, you know what I mean? And mate, you say we're known for being like kind of our fighters, tough, etc. Like I think Scotland's got a lot of potential to really, I don't know, be something like that, you know what I mean?
Mate, can I just say that's amazing? Like what that charity foundation is unbelievable, man. Just hearing that for you is unbelievable, man. You touched on being Muslim. We've not asked you about that, mate. So how does a young boy from Scotland end up being a Muslim, mate?
Mate, that's the biggest hate I get online. So I just want to say this, like, being a Muslim for 8 years, believed in it the day I done it, studied it for 8 years, but never wasn't the best practitioner of it, because it's very hard. Pray 5 times a day, fast for Ramadan for 30 days, give to charity. All these things are quite difficult to do to practice it, right? And I was also a Muslim whilst living illicitly and doing the wrong things, you know what I mean? And it's weird as fuck, because the more that I like struggled with Islam, the deeper and deeper and deeper I ended up going to like drink and stuff like that, because I wasn't really into that. It's weird. It was like God was kind of saying, right, okay, you're not going to practice this, then you're going to go through the depths and you need to be fortified. So basically, there's a lot of anti-Islam hate now. And I think I want to go deeper than that. I think there's like a lot of issues in the UK with faith, right? So I personally, if somebody's like a Christian or somebody's a Jew or Hindu or whatever, and they're practicing their religion, they're being faithful, I say to them, God bless you, man. I love it. I love that people have got that connection to God or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, man. Because in humans, we've got this innate nature to worship something. Everybody does. See, if you say you don't believe in God, right, cool. See, when your fucking son's ill in hospital, you're going to pray to somebody. Or you're in an aeroplane crash and you're going to fucking pray to something, right? So it's nature to be part of, to believe in something. And I was lost. And fuck knows, I just walked into a mosque one day and went, what's this all about? And what they said, they weren't like, so in Islam, there's no compulsion in religion. You cannot force religion on anybody. You cannot make somebody become, or you cannot preach to somebody to convince them to become. They have to do it on their own accord, right? So they weren't like preaching to me. They're just saying, this is what we believe. That's what is what it is. And I was like, that's very interesting. So I was going every day for about 3 years every day. And then I became a Muslim. Now, in like social, like TikTok, right? TikTok's get these 7-second clips of saying that Islam's this and bad and stuff like that. But that 7-second clip that somebody's studying isn't going to be better than the 8 years that I've studied of it, reading all these books, practicing it, speaking to Muslims and stuff like that. So I think there's a very, very negative thing on what Islam is, and unfortunately 99% of it's all fucking, nobody's got a clue what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? If you really, really want to have a problem with Islam, but don't talk to me, because I'm not a scholar, I'm just a boy from Scotland that became a Muslim. If you really have a problem with Islam, go to a mosque and speak to an imam.
Right, so what is the process to becoming a Muslim then? Is there any sort of process you had to go through?
You need to give blood, you need to fucking nah, you just say a testimony. I believe in God, basically. I believe in the way of Muhammad. That's it.
Aye.
Say this wee line.
It's a big part of Islam, charity, isn't it?
Very, very big
They all
part.
believe in charity. Somebody told me the other day it was like 20% of your earnings towards charity.
2.5% of your wealth, which is a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a requirement. And then there's this thing, sadaqah, that you have to just always be charitable and stuff like that. Now, everybody understands charity. Like, it's mad. Like, see religion for me, it's just, we're self-development coaches, right? Islam is just religion is just the ultimate self-development program for men or women or whatever, humans. I think that's what it is. But it's like, so I don't believe Islam's a religion. I believe it's a way of life. It's called, the word in Islam in Arabic is deen. Deen doesn't mean religion, it means way of life. And it kind of teaches you ways and how to be a better person, like giving charity. Now, I never gave to charity all my life. I didn't understand what charity was. I didn't really fucking care about it. Do you know what I mean? But then think about what charity is. You've got the blessing of having some wealth, maybe more than some other individual. So you should, as a human, require to help those in need, I think. And when that's an actual requirement of this way of life, then the world will become a better place. If that is a requirement and you do follow and you do that. And it's also in Christianity, I would imagine as well, that charity is a thing that you should do. But if we are faithless and we don't have that foundation of this self-development course, that program that people go through, then we're not doing these things like giving to charity.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye. I think you mentioned about people wanting to worship something or believe in something as well. And I think seeing people don't maybe look up to some sort of higher power or whatever, they kind of tend to like worship themselves. And I think that's where a lot of the kind of issues of the world stem.
Ego.
You know what I mean? Ego. Exactly.
Edging God out.
Exactly that, mate. This is maybe slightly an ego point then, right? So, mate, I was deep on your Instagram and I seen you on a private jet. So, what was this going on? It was just random, mate. But I just seen it and I was like, I need to ask what that's about.
On a private jet. When I was in Marbella, part of the war room, I was with these multi-millionaires, like crypto guys, and it was cool. Probably not my type of people, because I'm quite a humble guy. But there's a guy on it. I think he made fucking 180 million. A really nice guy, kind of street guy for London as well. And he said to me, he took us in a private jet, always in a private jet, to a fight in Liverpool. And then when I was there, my wife and that was living in Portugal. I was kind of thinking about should we come to Marbella and didn't really know how to do it. And he rented a house in Marbella for £5 million for a full year, cash, boom, paid the full house. He's like, Brian, do you want to come stay with me? So I was doing like security. I was doing security for Andrews Tate. I was like a bodyguard. I went through a course and then was doing kind of bodyguard for Tate in Marbella. And then I think this guy was kind of wanting security kind of detail because I'm very social aware. I'm very situational aware. And I've done this course and stuff. I think he's maybe wanting a bit of help. Obviously, he's probably a target if he's got that door right. So he's like, do you want to live with me? I said, aye. And then I said to my family, you go back to Portugal, I'll try and make a bit of a living here and I'll come back and see you every week and that. So after like 2-3 weeks, he's missing his family. He's fell out with his wife or something like that. He's missing his family in London. And I'm very, like, because I'm religious maybe, I'm very into like keeping the family together. Like, kill your ego. See if like, you fell out your wife, you need to kill your ego and keep the family together if you've got kids especially, right? And I was saying to him, you should maybe go and sort that with her. Like, go and talk to her and all that kind of stuff. So he's fucked off to England for Christmas. And he's phoned me and went, Brian, I'm going to just stay here with the wife. I says, cool mate, what about the villa? I'll just give you the keys back. He's like, no, you keep that for a year. So I'm fucking in Marbella, coaching with this big fucking $5 million villa.
Wait, that's unbelievable.
They're mad, innit?
That's decent.
But then again, that's what kind of led me down to the bad path because I was away from my family and the haram is a good word, right? Marbella's haram central, man. Marbella's haram central.
See, you touched on kind of being in the war room as well, man. So what's that like inside that, mate? 'Cause I've obviously seen Andrew Tate talking about it loads, man.
Aye, I mean, I don't really know how much I can say about it, but I'll say what I can. Like,
okay.
Is
it like kind of like secret almost in a way?
I don't know if it is. I don't really know, mate. But to be honest with you, it's like an organisation with like 2,000 odd guys that are like doing better, and the majority of them are fucking doing really well in life. Some of them are maybe 80-20, the Pareto principles. Some of them, the majority of them maybe are just like Tate fans or whatever. But there's some good guys in it, like some really good guys in it. Now, I'm a wee street guy for Glasgow, and I'm kind of associating with some of these guys. Maybe I didn't like gel too much with them, but they were brilliant with me. Do you know what I mean? I taught a lot of them how to fight. I was doing bodyguard for a few of them and stuff like that. The guy that kind of runs it now, Forte, he's one of my mates. He's kept me back in it and made some money coaching and stuff like that. So it's just like an online network.
Yeah.
An online network, bro.
Yeah.
And Tate, I like Tate because he's created this fantastic thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the war room's a really good thing.
Tate gets a lot of hate online as well, and I think it's for people that don't really kind of digest enough his content, man. And then just kind of while we're on that, have you seen this whole Manosphere documentary and that as well?
I've seen bits of it, and then I made a wee post about it. We were talking about this earlier on the day. Masculinity is like, you need to be masculine if you're a man. Do you know what I mean? Don't be forced into no being masculine, who you are as a man. And I think this demonisation of masculinity by showing cartoon characters like HS, TikTok and that's going to give the whole thing of masculinity a bad name, bad rep. I think that's what the reason that came out for. It's too soft, you know?
Aye, I do think it is to kind of paint that sort of whole side of things way a negative connotation because I've watched a lot of content, even for some of the guys own that as well. Not so much HS TikTok right enough, but the main message is about kind of being similar to maybe a Fortified Man, to be honest, mate. But I never mentioned any of that. It was mainly about like, you need to be rich, you need to have all these girlfriends, you need to...
I think they're catching the wrong people as well, mate. Like, obviously that HS TikTok, he's probably not your best guy to go and film with a camera crew and see what he's up to. He's also
24, mate.
But see, to be honest with you, I think he's actually quite sharp. I like him. I think he's quite clever. See the way he just dismantled Piers Morgan, and he dismantled that Bonnie Blue as well. He's not a dafty, man. He's actually quite clever, and I like him. I like what he's doing. He's a clever boy, you know.
I think you can see he's intelligent, but I think as well there's still a maturity level that he's maybe not quite reached. Obviously he's a young boy, you know what I mean? But it was, I don't know, I feel as if that was definitely something out there to kind of...
I think the big thing that lassies don't like is that they think they're getting disrespected with people that are like buying into these types of programs, which is not the case. Or is it?
Maybe some of them. Right, but forget all of them now, right? You guys are personal development coaches in a sense, so am I, and you're basically teaching masculinity. You're teaching people to go to the gym, you're teaching people to get fit and stuff like that. I'm teaching people to be disciplined. We as like men, like we should be preaching masculinity, because what's the opposite of masculinity? Femininity. A man acting like a female. Is that what if we're not going to be masculine, what the fuck are we going to be?
Well, mate, I actually read a book called Way of the Superior Man. It talks a lot
Brilliant
about...
book.
Great book, isn't it, man? Right?
I've read this book.
Mate, the concept I really liked about it is this kind of like idea of male and female becoming neutral, where like basically like opposites attract to each other, and if male and female become neutral, they kind of then don't attract almost, know what I mean? And like, I think you do need to have that kind of strong masculine essence, and like, this I feel as if masculinity has become a bad word, basically, man, now, for the kind of social media sort of realm, know what I mean?
Aye, there's a lot that, and I'm probably no educated enough to go into it, but men should be men, women should be women. When we start to mix that together, there's like a problem there. It's too much a grey area.
Aye.
So if you're in a relationship, if you guys get partners or wives or stuff like that,
Got a girlfriend.
right.
I'm kind of seeing
So your girlfriend, if you came in and you started to act soft and no live up to your masculine principles and your values, and she's going to look at you and go, what the fuck's this cunt up to? So woman, I don't know if this came from another book, The Rational Male by Rollo Tomlinson or something. And it speaks about like woman naturally, like back in caveman days, they always went to the man that was like, he says alpha male, I don't like that word, but the man that was being a man.
Aye.
So that woman are inherently attracted to that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're forced to live like that, then woman won't be attracted to us, and then what do we get? Do you know what I mean? And I think religion's good for that, even Christianity, every form of religion. Like, I'm not saying women should be in the kitchen just being one, but women, beautiful, like they've grown and stuff like that, and they've got such these things, but it becomes too progressive, like men become too female and women become too masculine, then there's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Apparently that's like a sign that always happens in civilizations that are about to fall.
Yes.
I think it happened in Greece and like Rome and stuff like that as well, man. When the gender roles start to merge, essentially, man.
And I don't want to get right into that too much because I don't know enough about that, right?
I'm the same. I don't want to dive too deep.
I don't want to dive too into that because people are people, and I respect every single person in this world. I don't judge nobody, only God can judge. But I'm talking about maybe relationships. I said to you, in a relationship, that's what I'm kind of meaning. I've got a wife. I can't be coming in all soft or gutted, acting all feminine, and like, I'm not having it. Like, I need to say, no, I'm the leader of this being a man. I need to lead what I'm doing. You need to appreciate that. But then again, I'm not saying I'm the leader, she's a follower. Like, the two is complement each other. Mm-hmm. She's the backbone. She is the backbone of everything. Like, she keeps everything together. I'm not going to fucking lie. My wife's solid, man. I'm blessed with having a great wife, smoking hot wife as well. But if I don't lead, then I'm just sitting about my arse, smoking weed or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, no being a man. She's going, oh, fuck you, and she's Jewish, to go and find someone else that is acting like a man, do you know what I mean?
No, it's
So
definitely,
that's masculinity.
it's a yin and yang, they complement each other,
Exactly,
know what I mean? It's one, they're meant to become one, know what I mean?
Exactly, mate, exactly.
Because there's so many things that like you need each other for, know what I'm saying?
Exactly, mate. And women have got their attributes, men have got their attributes, and that's it. I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, maybe for saying this, but I think what I think.
Aye.
I think what I think. What age are you two guys? So you're in your 30s?
31.
31?
Aye, 30 as well, mate. Are
And
you
how
31?
long-
Oh, aye, it's just your birthday,
31,
actually.
aye.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. thanks.
Aye, aye.
How long have you been
birthday,
doing coaching for?
I've been coaching for about 10 years, mate.
Have you?
Have you?
So,
I mean, you've been in the game longer than me.
Aye. So I was obviously, I played football and stuff like that when I was younger, and I studied part-time when I was full-time to become a personal trainer, mate. So when I stopped playing full-time, I kind of got any sort of working in gyms when I was about 19, maybe 20. And then by about 21, I was probably qualified PT, mate. And I started sort of doing clients and stuff like that. And it just kind of evolved from there.
What kind of fitness do you focus on?
Me, I help people that are over 35, so both female and male. So I'm not just one gender, and I help people lose weight. But I'm not your type of guy that's going to get you stage ready, mate. I don't focus on doing photo shoots and getting abs out and all that sort of stuff. I help people that are really struggling with their weight and their health, their diet and their lifestyle, mate. I'm trying to get them in a healthier place, physically and mentally.
Do you do routine, or do you focus on the routine the way I'm kind of talking
No,
about?
no, that type of routine. So I don't go too much into but it's something that I'm learning. You know what I mean? It's even just listening to you speaking about it, mate. But no, that type of routine. But in terms of actual, like, not too much mentally, if that makes sense. But
The
like,
training routine and
training
regime.
routine and like food routines and all that sort of stuff, steps, all that sort of.
You do it online as well?
I do online and I do one-to-one.
Brilliant.
Mostly
Brilliant.
one-to-one, but I do online clients as well, mate.
Brilliant.
Aye.
Brilliant. I think online is good, like really good. Like, you can get more. I think you can give more online. But see, like, if people come to you for in-person PTs, you always struggle to get them online. I think.
It's because of how much value you can offer one-to-one, mate. You know what I mean?
But supposed value, I think you can give more value online because you've got like 7 days a week rather than just that 45 minutes, 50 minutes of talking.
Just try to convince somebody of that, but sometimes, innit, a lot of people want your time.
They want your time, but then again, your time's very important as well. And you can help more people by doing it online in a programme as a businessman or whatever. But that's what I always struggle if people want to have an in-person PT. And that's the problem with me is they don't come for the boxing, the fighting, they come for the talking. And I think I need to kind of say no. So I just say I don't do PTs now because I want to build my programme online and I've got such a better product to offer. Do you know what I mean? Same as yourself, you do online?
So I'm 50-50 as well. So half online, half in person as well. I basically run like a men's transformation programme. So it does kind of prioritise the physique, but it's kind of working and building them up for the kind of inside out, essentially. Heavily focused on diet and kind of getting them into a good routine. Basically kind of hacking their habits, kind of trying to rewire psychology, and then I like to say turbocharge their biology, you know what I mean? Turbocharge their biology, cool, mate. It's once you get your body operating at 100%, man, you know what I mean? You're able to just do everything better, and it's kind of, one, you're looking better, two, you're thinking better, but three, you're also feeling better as well, you know what I mean?
You said to me earlier on is like, training and that, like the backbone, it's not really the backbone for me, but understand that I think actually fitness is like such an important thing that people don't really take into account for.
See something you mentioned about like men becoming a bit more feminine, like there's a lot more focus on like the aesthetic of guys now as well, and I think like for me the fitness side of it, right, a lot of people come to me because they want to look a certain way, but then the development they get through trying to achieve that look is where all the magic really happens. You feel confident about how you look, but it's like when you're constantly testing yourself, as you say, and kind of progressing and seeing yourself, I can't be arsed getting up to go do this on the day, but you go and do it, or whatever it may be, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of like mental toughness that comes from that, you know what I mean?
Aye, 100%.
And I think honestly, man, see just fitness in general, I think it's like this kind of perfect lesson for life, because the lessons you learn in the gym and developing yourself, you can apply them into business, you know what I mean? Into different aspects of my life, and I think it's just amazing to be honest in general.
And the way you engage with people as well, because if you're looking in the mirror and you're happy with the way you look at whatever, it builds your self-esteem, self-respect, and then you maybe also offer respect to others as well. So if you've got self-respect and you look in the mirror, you always give more respect to other people. If you look in the mirror and you're feeling like a piece of shite, you might speak to others like a piece of shite as well. I think fitness is really good. I've also been like, so everything I do comes from experience. I've been like a professional fighter, then I've been like a wee fat fucking out of shape cunt that's drinking too much and stuff like that.
I've seen your transformation. You've put it on a few times.
Aye. So it's just to show people that what I can do and what I can do myself, you know what I mean?
So is there any kind of people you maybe like look at the now and maybe take inspiration from? I know we kind of spoke about role models earlier in your life, but is there any people you kind of look at now and kind of think other men could benefit from watching these people and taking in their information, apart from yourself obviously?
There's such a big list on that, isn't there? Men that are fathers. Men that are fathers. Not necessarily just online. Like I said this before, like see a dad that gets up at 4 a.m, goes and works a grueling shift, hard graft, and goes and gets his kids, even with his work clothes on, takes his kids to a football game or his daughter dancing or his son boxing. That's the real hero. That's the real hero, man. That's the man that's just doing it for the greater good, for his family. He's no ego driven. He's no putting himself in front of the kids that he's brought up. That for me is a real hero.
Aye. What about C as well? Any kind of, like you mentioned some books you read and stuff like that, any sort of avenues you would send guys looking to kind of benefit, develop themselves doing? Maybe certain books or whatever. Or books or anything, mate, anything you've kind of used to like just learn and benefit yourself, etc. I mean, it could be anything.
Even mentors or something like that, mate.
Aye,
you
mentors.
Like, obviously we spoke just a minute ago about Tate's, but anything else that you've done?
You find your own mentor, you find your own giants that you want to stand on the shoulders of that resonate with you. And there's a lot of them out there. I don't really necessarily mean online guys. For books, this has got to sound a bit like I'm a mad Bible basher or Quran basher or something, but read like religious texts. Honestly, like read religious texts, read the Bible, the Quran, Bhagavad Gita, Tibetan Book of the Dead, whatever one you can resonate with. They all say the same message. I've read them, they all say the same message. There's just wee arguments about the words and stuff like that. But then we talk about like The Way of Superior Man by David Dida. All these later on self-development books, they're all just copy and pasting what's in these original texts. Honestly, if you read them, and you can see, I mean, I've heard that before. Where have I heard that? Was in the fucking Bible. I read that when I was in primary school.
Right, okay.
And people are just copying it. So that knowledge and that wisdom, I think people should go to first, and don't have it like. So I think that faith has kind of been took out of maybe Western culture or the UK or whatever, maybe for a reason, so we can be more easily controlled. I think people are controlled more without faith than with faith, personally. But then again, some people go, I'm not reading the Bible, that's embarrassing or whatever, do you know what I mean? But no, there's some great things in the Quran. Like, I doubt many people are going to pick up a Quran and read it in English, right? Listen, change your life. Read the Bible front to back, it will change your fucking life. Read the Bhagavad Gita front to back, change your life. Tibetan Book of the Dead, it will change your life. So there's Old Testament, Judaism, New Testament, Christianity, Islam, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, Hinduism, and Tibetan Book of the Dead, Buddhism. You'll learn a lot from those books.
Is that what the Buddhism book's called, Tibetan Book of the Dead? Aye, okay, I've never even heard of that one before, man.
You'll learn a lot of books, a lot from those books. Like all the stuff that's been copy and pasted is all came from there originally. Same as like mentors and that, and also like people online and stuff like that. Today in 2026, all that stuff is all getting said fucking 20 years ago off somebody else. It's just the same shit, you know what I mean? It's just the same garbage. People are just putting their own maybe spin on it. So then again, you need to kind of filter out which is good for you and which is bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying go and listen to Andrew Tate. I like to listen to Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate said something that I kind of agree with. He is a fighter. Do you know what I mean? And kind of resonated with that. But there's a lot of great minds out there that you can go and listen to. A lot of religious guys out there that you can listen to, and you'll go and self-study and go and seek knowledge is what you should do, and you'll find God or the universe or whatever, any avenue will find your own information, your own path to follow. Don't just sit and watch fucking clips on YouTube or clips on Instagram and think that you're going to be educating yourself. You need to go deeper. So obviously you guys read books, or that?
Aye.
You read a book.
Know the Quran, but
you should, mate. I'll give you a copyright. You read a book, and there's words on a page, and this magical alchemy happens that your brain has to create a picture. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you watch something on a TV screen or you watch something on your phone or whatever, that job has been done for you. So it's a kind of lazy man's way of learning. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think going to a book is a lot more powerful, a lot more deeper. You resonate with the idea a bit better because your brain's actually made the idea in your head. So you get to learn from it a lot more.
Mate, that's a good point, because the video can essentially be putting like an image in your head of what it wants you to believe, essentially. Programming, as you would maybe say.
And then you can listen to the shit. I hate TikTok. I've never made a penny off TikTok. I fucking hate it. I made a few videos on it. Hate it. I think, I don't want to say, but I think it's like maybe lower IQ content that comes out, especially a lot of guys that make it. I've seen some of these people from Glasgow and they're arguing with a bird and all that. Garbage for your brain.
Mate, that is the worst thing. That annoys me so much about Glasgow, right? Like social scene is just dafties, mate. Know what I mean? We've got people who are doing good stuff, obviously, like yourself and that, but like when I go on TikTok, mate, I see people in their rooms like shouting and bawling at each other. I'm going, what should I dress and all that?
Police are coming to my door, mate. But then again, like, there's good things on YouTube. There's a guy, Jocko Willink, have you heard of him?
Yep.
He's brilliant, man. He's brilliant. He's like a Navy SEAL or a military guy, and he's all about discipline, ownership. I like him. I like listening to him. I like listening to him. There's a lot of them, mate. I could go through a big mad list, but I go to the ones that I resonate with.
Aye. So you mentioned your fight. When is this fight happening?
30th of May.
30th of May, right? And whereabouts?
Birmingham.
And then how do people
What's the promotion actually again? That's
BKFC.
Aye.
BKFC,
that's a top promotion.
Aye, mate. It's, honestly, like, have you ever been to a live fight, a boxing
fight? I've been to live fights, no bare knuckle though.
If you go to like a UFC, it's like one of the biggest promotions ever, mate. They're fucking coming up there. Like, see when you go to a BKFC promotion, it's like, wow. Just brilliant fight upon fight. Very kind of violent fights. Violent, no, that's a bad word, I shouldn't be saying that. Very entertaining fights. Fights.
If somebody wanted to go to that, like, how would they go? Would they just type in BKFC?
BKFC or direct me and I'll give them tickets. I'll have tickets for it.
Where is the fight?
When?
Where?
Birmingham,
right, okay, sorry. And just to, it's McGregor's promotion, did you say?
McGregor's backed it. And the guy that runs the promotion, Dave Feldman, he's like fighter first. So they pay more money for fighters. They look after fighters really well. The UFC's like really well known, Dana White, but apparently like
Aye.
they don't pay as much and stuff like that, especially if you go through, you know what I mean?
Aye.
You go through some. So there's a lassie that fought in UFC. I think she got 20 and 20. So 20 for showing up, 20 more to win. I think she lost and she got 20 grand, $20,000. And then her next fight on BKFC, she got 450.
Wow.
Okay.
What
What?
the hell?
You go for 20 grand on the biggest show to
Aye.
BKFC, which people might.
Mate, I didn't think the money in it was that big, man. That's mega, because it's obviously relatively new, but that's mega, man.
Aye, so they're fighters first.
Aye,
There's
wow.
fighters first, man.
Aye.
Like, I'm not getting mad money, but I'm getting money
Aye.
for it, you know what I mean? Like,
Better than
for-
you get in the UFC anyway.
maybe, aye, and better than I get in MMA shows in Scotland or Britain or whatever. But aye, they're fighters first. They look after you really well. It's a fucking great show. And as I said, there's this common respect amongst all the fighters. It's just unbeatable, man. Fucking unbeatable. See, you're a football player. Sometimes you argue with other football team.
Aye.
There's none of that shit.
Aye.
Just let's go, mate. Let's go and have a fucking war.
Aye. I think.
I'd love to go to that one.
Mate, I was going to say that, mate. That's what I was going to say. Give you a shout to go down to that,
Aye,
man,
aye,
to
good.
be honest.
Aye, good, man.
I think, mate, just to kind of wrap this up, man, right? Is there any like final words you would like to share with somebody who's been watching this podcast and took a lot of benefit from what you're saying?
Aye, fortify yourself, fortify your mind, fortify your body, fortify your spirit. If you've got a problem, if you don't understand what fortification is, send me a DM. I'll sit and happily talk to you about it. We all need to go through the test in life. Life is just all tests. And these tests are what make us humans, because we learn from these tests. If you hide from the test, you'll never learn. You'll be stuck in the same position. Go through the fire, go through the tests, fortify yourself. Don't be scared of the challenge. And you will eventually become, I believe, a better human being.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Amazing, mate.
Aye, Brian, mate, thank you very much for coming on.
No worries,
mate.
guys. Thanks for
Absolutely
having me on.
nailed it.
Thank you, mate.
Such a great
Thank you.
speaker as well, man.
Aye,
honestly.
great.
Aye, that's a good one. Thank you,
Well
bro.
done, mate.
Thank you, boys.